It was. Now it's us. Now it's us. Oh, wait. No. Hello.
And then I gotta turn this up.
Now I can.
And then I gotta turn this up.
Hey, but you know what?
What?
It's like Tuesday. It's like a day later. There was a holiday.
Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Columbus Day.
You know what's so funny? Because you were like, just right. That's about how I feel. You were like, just open up this shop and sell something. Remember?
No, yeah, but I was saying like
something on sale.
Yeah.
But and I giggled because I was like, I should because
every store has a Columbus Day sale.
Columbus Day sale. So when you
mattresses
said it,
and sheets and towels.
Nothing of it. Then later on in the day, the mandate went on, and Tha1Radio show was actually there, and she was like, "It's the mattress day sale." She said, 1,000 people done bought a mattress today for why?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they're cheaper.
Because they're cheaper, absolutely.
People be waiting for President's Day and Columbus Day.
So why is the Columbus Day a sales day? What does that mean?
What is it's just like one of those things because a lot of people are home, right? There's no work for a lot of people. Government agencies are closed, banks are closed, that kind of thing. So as a holiday, you choose different days. I think for President's Day, it's usually like cars and stuff like that. Like, come to the President's Day sale.
Come get a car.
And
Columbus Day
it's mattresses and sheets and towels and.
Was Columbus a whore? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Did he have a mattress? Maybe in honor of never sleeping in a mattress.
Was he big on sleeping? I don't know. I don't know.
It was a long journey across that sea. Yeah, I don't know. Does it have anything to do, you think, with boosting? What is happening?
I don't know. I was like, we're not really on.
I hit the thing. Okay.
That's all right.
Now we're on. It's okay. Maybe it has something to do with fourth quarter sales. Like it's the start of fourth quarter and they want to really boost before the end of the year. And
that's a smart thing.
They can't do it on Halloween. No. Christmas is, of course, going to be a boost for everything.
Its own entity.
But not necessarily, who buys a mattress for Christmas? Who's like, I'm going to get you a mattress for Christmas?
Under your tree, yeah. The tree is sitting on top of the mattress.
Oh, my gosh. Last time I went to buy a mattress, I told myself, I went with Ninette, obviously.
The person who sleeps in the mattress with him.
Right. And we said, why don't we just go check one of these Sleep Number places just to see what it does, see what it is, and try one out and see what the fuss is about, right?
Yeah.
Because it was a Sleep Number whole store, Sleep Number store near where we lived in New York. So we were like, okay, let's go check it out. Nika?
Was it awesome?
We ain't doing it. It was awesome.
Was it awesome?
It was very awesome. However, it was awesomely expensive as well. Oh. Can you imagine yourself not later in life and not in the Garden Ridge days, but right now, could you imagine yourself, Nika Cleaver, walking into a mattress store, putting down your credit card to buy a mattress for $14,000? Would you spend that much money on a mattress?
Now you just silly. You know I'm not spending
I ain't spending that much money on a house.
On anything, on nothing.
14 grand, 10 grand, easy. Like, oh, how much? 10,000. Okay, write a check, or here, swipe it, or
look at me.
Or take out a loan for a mattress.
Take out a loan.
Take out a loan for a mattress. Costs as much as a car.
So
some
America,
of these things.
This is how America gets us in debt and owing people and getting stuff taken away and whatever, because you can't get anything. Why? Because I bought a mattress 2 years ago and I forgot to finish paying on it. You know what I'm saying?
A mattress.
Whatever. Like, you can't get a car because you bought a mattress, or you can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Now, there's another school of thought though, so keep this in mind at the same time. And people don't think this way when they go out and buy a mattress. I'm not a mattress salesman. But maybe I should be.
He's about to sell you one right now.
No, check this out. So, there are a few places in life that human beings spend the most amount of time.
Yeah, this is true.
Okay?
I see
One
where
of
you're
them
going.
is standing in line.
Yep.
Okay? Like I read a study that it was something like the average person in the span of a lifetime will spend something like 2.5 years standing in line.
Yes.
At the store, at the whatever, in the concert. And obviously, depending on what concert you're going to, you may be or if you're standing in line for the new iPhone or whatever, you're significantly adding to that time, right? But 2.5 years in line. I don't remember how many years in a car, right? Or in your car, especially if you commute. But roughly a third of your life,
you're in bed.
You're in bed.
So you should
because you're sleeping,
so
right?
You should have a comfortable
8 hours a night. So you should have, just as much care as you put into your car, as much care as you put into your house.
You should put into your body as it sleeps.
You should put into your body as it sleeps.
It's a good point, dear.
No. That's what I've heard. Now,
I'm just saying, but that's not gonna.
$10,000, and that some of them now. Some of the, we're also talking about newfangled, this technology in it and stuff. It's not just about how soft or firm or whatever it is. Now it's like there's a bed that exists. You know how they move and they get firmer and softer, or they'll tilt or whatever it is, right? There's one that I saw a commercial for the other day that if your partner is snoring, it will move to stop him or her from snoring. It'll like move to put them in a different position so that.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
It has sensors to know that
it's got an app.
It's got. It'll move depending on if you're snoring, like just to stop you from. Okay, calm down.
Nice.
Soften your side.
Yeah.
Cool and warm. Like if you're a hot, if you sleep and you like it warm when you sleep, your side will be warmer, and they like it cooler. Your side will be cooler. What?
Yeah.
So you got
those old
temperature. Oh my gosh.
That they put the glass of wine on it, and you can jump, and the wine glass.
Yeah. Oh, that's the least of it now.
That's player.
Yeah. Exactly. They do at least that now. So when I went into the Tempur-Pedics, not the Tempur-Pedic, the Sleep Number store, I get in there and I walk straight to, okay, what's the top of the line here? And then what don't you get as you start taking money off, right? So obviously the top of the line was in the, $10,000 to $20,000 range. You lay down, and they have so that the bed will project your TV onto your ceiling so that you don't have to sit up and look at the wall or the TV stand.
The bed will project the television onto the ceiling so you can lay flat.
And just look straight up or lay flat.
Ain't that?
And just watch TV.
Ain't that something?
How cool is that? So,
I'm like,
buy yours today.
Right.
If you got $10,000 also.
Man, and a great financing route. Good Lord.
Or go to your credit union and take out a loan today.
Or wait till next year on Columbus Day. As it comes back again next year.
And it'll come back and they might take 10% off.
You might go in there and like argue your stance today to get yesterday's sale though.
Maybe. You know what I just thought about? 10% off
of 10,000.
But that's how. What is it when you can? There exists a situation where you can get 10% off, and it's $1,000 off.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah,
right.
Ridiculously crazy.
Ridiculous.
Oh, man.
Okay, it is a beautiful day in the Alamo City. There is a hurricane out in the Gulf.
Is that why it was raining?
And that's why it will continue to rain for a little while. Hurricane Michael is out there right now.
Where do they get the names from? I know they just go down the M, N, and then M, and whatever.
Right. So every year there is. I don't know that there's a council, but every year there is a governing body who goes down the list and puts down names, and then sometimes storm names are retired depending on how much destruction they do. A lot of the storms will just end up in the ocean, or maybe we won't even get to X or Y or Q even. You know what I mean? Sometimes we'll get to like M, N, O. Like I don't know too many like hurricane Trevors, right? Or Rudolphs or anything like that, but you never know. So they do that, and then they write all the names, and then next year they'll write the names again, and as the time goes on, you just which one is this one now?
Gotcha.
And so at the beginning of the year, they already have the setup.
But I wasn't sure exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody makes them up.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is obviously rainy today. It's going to be thunderstorms all day long. The high will be 85 degrees, and the low tonight, again, under lots and lots of rain, will be 67 degrees. Tomorrow, it will be partly sunny. With a high partly sunny, to only 10% chance of rain tomorrow, with a high of 86 and a low tomorrow night of 63.
Love it.
Yep. And what are we celebrating today? It is October 9th.
It is our birthday month.
It is our birthday month. And you see how excited she gets? Can't even speak. Can't even speak about it. It's just too awesome.
Just saying, it's our birthday month.
Okay, so we're celebrating 3 things today. Do not look at my screen.
No.
See, the first thing she does, you saw her? You saw her in the face? She was like this, and we are celebrating stuff today. She was like, trying to see what we celebrate.
What we got?
I will show you. I will show you. The first thing, I can honestly say, not a fan. I am not a fan.
Okay.
It is National Moldy Cheese Day.
Blue cheese or molded cheese?
It says National Moldy Cheese Day.
Why would we like...
It's a unique holiday that is observed each year on October 9th.
Oh, Lord.
A cheesemonger is a person who specializes in cheeses, butters, and other dairy products. I think I'm going to become a cheesemonger. They may take offense at the common person's offense of moldy cheese. Well, depending on the type of mold, of course, some cheese molds, red or brown tinged molds, for example, are offensive. Toss those bacteria-contaminated moldy cheeses in the garbage quickly and move along to the gray, blue, or green-colored moldy cheeses in the fridge instead. Like a sommelier pairs the best wines with meals, a cheesemonger provides expert advice on artisan cheeses for recipes, banquets, and sources for restaurants. Cheeses such as Maytag Blue, Roquefort, Brie, Blue, Camembert, Gorgonzola, and Stilton are just a few of the moldy reasons this day is celebrated. I will not allow it.
No.
That sounds nasty.
I'm not even cool with
it. But there are some people that love them, some moldy cheeses. I remember I must have been in the 4th or I think I was in the 5th grade. And when we were kids, if you remember, teachers would teach a whole lot of different things. There was no test to teach to, right?
Right.
They just wanted to make sure that you were a good, well-rounded child, right? You knew math, you knew science, you knew culture, you knew civics, and a little bit of everything, right? So I was in the 5th grade. My teacher brought in cheeses to teach us about cheeses. These are the kind of things that people like, people don't like. And one day, I remember, and I remember that she took these blocks of cheeses and cut them up and let little kids come in and come up. Okay, you guys want to try? Okay, you guys want to try? Okay. So when it got to the moldy cheese, everyone stood up. Why? Because the cheddar was great. The Swiss was good. Like all these, mozzarella. Yeah. Oh, this kind of tastes like what you get on pizza. Yes, it is. Set you up.
Got to the molded cheese.
Get to the moldy cheese.
Did you throw up?
Little Zay lost his cookies. That was nasty. And it's one of those things that stays with you, right? Because you ever have something that you ate when you were a kid.
And yes, and you can see, you can taste the...
And you never tried it again. You were 5. You might have been 10 years old, put that in your face, and you were like, And it had such an adverse reaction that never... You 50 years old and never tried it again? You 60 and you're like, I don't like that. Well, how do you know? Because when I was 10...
Right.
Now, taste buds grow, people grow, things grow. I will never try moldy cheese again. No, thank you. I don't care. I don't care how sophisticated my palate becomes. No, thank you. I'll leave that right over there.
I still, I mean, outside of the other moldy cheeses, I'm surprised there's just one. I mean, there's more than one.
Yeah.
But, you know, the blue cheese as it is
I don't
so
like blue
nasty
cheese
to me because it's moldy cheese.
But I don't like you know how like some people get blue cheese and put it on like
dressing on salad
dressing
and wings and stuff. It's still molded cheese.
I'm not a fan. I don't like the crumple
because it's molded.
No, thank you.
Cheese.
It's just not my thing.
You just got through saying you threw up.
My wife is more sophisticated than I, and she'll try. You know, she might try Camembert or whatever with some wine or something. You know, like you know, she's cultured. My palate is that of a 12-year-old. I will not.
If cheese makes you cultured, I'm lactose.
Well, it's not.
Look at me. I'm lactose.
I'm lactose.
Apparently, I was doomed from the start.
You were doomed from the start. No moldy cheese for Nika. Okay, today we are also celebrating National Leif Erikson Day.
Yeah, I got the same reaction
All
from
right.
the moldy cheese.
So, Leif Erikson was a Norse explorer. So he's a Norwegian guy. Norse explorer. He earns credit for bringing the first Europeans known to have set foot in North America. So
Gotcha.
That's Leif Erikson for you. If you want to celebrate him, use the hashtag Leif Erikson Day and post on social media. That'll be cool for you. And I don't understand, but I'm with it. It is National Pro-Life Cupcake Day. I'd heard cupcake and I was in.
He said,
I don't
get
understand.
it. I don't know why.
I don't.
But I dig it.
Anyway, on this day,
Can you
cupcakes.
bring me those 6 delicious looking, yummy treats that they got on that's Mia.
Right. No.
I'm just kidding. I mean, you have to go somewhere really fancy dancy to find cupcakes like that. Now they do have places.
Well, perhaps. I think HEB will
Not
give it a
like
run for its
that.
money. I think they give it a run for its money. I went the other day and it looked amazing in their little cake section.
No, look.
So on this day, so this is a different kind. This is politically also.
Okay.
This is cupcakes with a political twist to it,
Gotcha.
right? Or
Pro-life.
Right. So on this day, cupcakes are baked to honor the lives of those not yet born and to raise awareness about the issue of abortion. Cupcakes are a sweet way to get a conversation started on a difficult subject, and that's why the day exists, right? So it's not necessarily to change your mind, but it's about getting the subject started.
Yeah.
You know, the conversation started, and maybe if you do it over cupcakes, then there'll be a sweeter outcome. There's no arguing, no anything like that, right? Maybe it'll just be, okay, well, you think your way and I'll think my way. Or maybe, you know, people could find common ground.
The pro-life or the abortion conversation always was a very, it used to be, I would say, a very touchy.
Sure,
you know,
absolutely.
folks got very angry. I don't know if it is as much today because there's so much other touchy stuff
To be touchy about. Is Texas generally a pro-life state? I'm guessing yes, right? Since it's a red state, it should probably also
I want
very.
to say we're a pro. I don't know. Texas is we do what we want to do when we want to do it state.
Okay,
so
there you go.
I feel like if they want abortions, they're going to go have abortions and you ain't going to tell me no way other. If I don't want an abortion, I ain't going to have one and you ain't going to. Texas is don't tell me shit state.
Don't tell me.
That's what it is. It's
Okay,
like, you
I
know,
gotcha.
I'm going to take your guns away. No, you ain't. You know?
Okay.
Right. No, you're not.
Right,
you know?
right,
And
right,
we're so
right.
big that,
Yeah.
and have so much, it's almost like we're our own little, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of side laws in Texas. Like, well, this is like this everywhere else, but you in Texas, so you got to do this. Like,
Right.
why?
Right.
But- There's Texas for you.
There's Texas for you. Okay. And there you have it. Those are the things that we are celebrating today. Go get you some moldy cheese. Think about Leif Erikson, and then wash it down with a cupcake.
Mia, we don't want any of those things. Possibly a cupcake, but yeah, just in case you was like, oh, I got some moldy cheese right here at my desk. Let me go slide it by the station. No, don't keep that one.
Is moldy craft slices good? Is that all right? It's just been sitting in here.
Got this in my desk. The kids didn't want it. Don't bring that to us, Mia.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
So,
It was a long weekend, man. It was a
long
4-day
weekend.
4-day weekend
For
that I
us,
spent
yeah.
mostly sleep.
Oh, man.
And
Are you feeling better though?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's just, you know, it's the
Happens.
those
It
things
happens.
that we go through every, you know, till we don't go through them again.
Right.
But you know, I have a whole routine now. Since I was in bed for 3 days, I was like, oh, these are funny jokes in my head.
Oh wow. A whole routine. I know what you mean. Yeah. I thought you meant a daily, like, hey, now I have to get back to work. Who's gonna water these plants? Like,
got a whole comedy routine on how I have to be in bed for 2 days every month.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to have. One day, man, I'm gonna have an hour and a half special by the time I get done with it.
You know what? Shoot it in bed, and then just distribute
I was gonna
it.
Shoot it in the one TV studio.
Or you can shoot it in bed. Like, do something that nobody does.
That nobody else does?
What comedy special have you ever seen somebody doing it in bed?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the, yeah. Huh.
In their kitchen while they cook a thing, do a whole comedy special.
Do a whole comedy routine. I'm
very doing
animated, so I would have to.
Everybody just wants to be on a stage and do it on a stage. But what if we shot a comedy special through real life?
I like it.
Pumping gas or whatever, you know, like living your life and then doing your routine.
Do laughter. I like it. I mean,
that might be fun.
I'm gonna put it on the side. I'm gonna think.
Don't you guys
this.
take that? That belongs to us. That belongs.
But I will tell you,
I
I did that, and I cleaned the house when I did feel better. I cleaned up everything, so that made me feel good because I love a clean house.
Okay.
Hate a dirty house.
I do.
But I hate cleaning a house. Right? Oh my gosh. It's like so.
Love a clean house. Don't want to be the one doing it. I get it.
No, actually, I like to clean the house. So me and my dude get in fights when we clean the house at the same time.
Okay.
Because we both clean differently.
Okay.
So, you know, you do it my way, I do it your way.
One of you cleans correctly, and the other one does not clean correctly. Is that what you're saying? We both have different approaches to cleaning.
Right.
I do it right.
I do it right. You don't. That's my line to it.
Right.
So I'll be like, just go in a different room, right? Why don't you, like, let's clean different rooms.
Okay. You do the bedroom, I'll do the living room.
Right. And then when you're done with the bedroom, I'll go and redo the bedroom. And you can go sit in the living room.
Oh my gosh. That's terrible.
So I like to clean when baby's at work and I'm there by myself and I put the dogs outside and I just get it, right? Room. And then light candles everywhere. When the candles are all lit over the house, that means the house is clean. I sit back, relax, chill out, you know. So I did that yesterday and the day before yesterday. Wash clothes and all that good stuff. I'm ready for action.
Ready for life.
I'm ready for something. Tuesday.
Dinner party. Come on over. Let me show you my clean house.
Yeah, that's what I did. What did you do, dear?
Work. Really. I just worked. A lot of things to do. A lot of things to get it in. I'm still trying to put my office together, and it's not a fast process. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'd like for it to be quicker, but it's not. So I just kind of get as much as I can and then just look around.
Yeah.
What can I do next?
What can I do next?
I don't know.
I did that last night. Like, I was literally laying in the bed and there's this shelf, whatever, little thing. It's from my parents. Okay. So it's like one of their pieces of furniture that I've carried around because they're gone, and I'm gonna keep this piece of furniture until I can't keep it no more. Okay. Right. So I was sitting there looking at it, and all it is a piece of furniture that ends up holding mess. Right. Because it's right there, so you put all your stuff in envelope, whatever. So I was just looking at it. I was like, man, by the time this night's over, I'm gonna clean that top thing off.
Okay.
But in my head, I cleaned it, right? I was like, first them envelopes, we'll throw those away.
That's a problem. That's a problem. So, okay, here's one thing that I read a few months ago that has been very difficult for me to address in my life. Okay? Might have been a New England Journal of Medicine thing, but psychology, or maybe Psychology Today or something. But psychologically, human beings are wired in such a way that if we imagine something, we get the same gratification as if we actually did it. That's a problem. I think because we need to do more than imagine. Right, and I think that's what is a problem today with today's society. They talk so much that they feel like they've done it. And they didn't do anything. They ain't doing anything. And we ain't got no change. Right. And then you're like, well, why hasn't it not changed? Because all y'all doing is talking. All you do is talk about it. So that's why I'm so into the mind state of I don't want to talk about it. Let's go. Like, let's go. Yeah, why are we planning so much? I don't care to plan so much. Meetings. Let's just jump in. Yeah. I don't like meetings either. I don't like meetings. I don't like making lists. I don't like writing it down. I don't like putting it on a blackboard. I don't like not that those things don't have their place, and I'm learning little by little that those things do have a purpose.
You gotta
write it down so that you can check it off or whatever it might be, right?
There might be something that you're like, I never even thought about that, and you write it down, and it's like, so now you have it in your.
But to me, psyche. It's a little too much thinking about it, and I don't ever want to be in danger of.
Well, you know that I've saw some early bird tips that we used to do to like making lists. It's dangerous to make a 25 project list. Yeah, right, because you're looking at it as too much.
That's a lot of stuff.
How am I going to get it done?
Right.
How am I going to get it done? How am I going to get it? And then you start thinking about shortcuts and thinking about, you know, that type of thing. Like, that's dangerous.
Right.
But do it 5 at a time. You know,
5 things at a time.
Or your top 3.
Yeah.
What's your top 3 things you got to do today?
Right.
Or the top, you know, okay, I've got this list. It might accompany you. You might know the whole list when you make your business plan or when you make the plan.
Right.
That's when your entire list is in your plan. Because you got to write it down, how it's going to be, how you're going to make money, what you're going to spend money on, all that stuff. That's your entire list. Then you go back and say, all right, I'm going to do these 3 things on this day, these 3 things on this day. And then you just go. Because if you get you a 52 check-off list, you ain't gonna do it. You
4.
Yeah,
I'm going to bed.
You skip some. You done talked yourself in how you don't need to do it all or whatever. Right. And that skipping steps is never a good thing.
Yep.
But yeah, some things you should do, but you're right. Like, it's better just to do. Like, I don't want to talk about it, man.
Yeah, let's just do it. Can we just do it? Just want to do it. Make your list and then start checking things off as quickly as possible. First thing to check off is making that list. Get it over with. And I'm not a fan of
Chuck says it's our own internal virtual reality. Let me tell you, my internal,
it sure is.
My internal
Good
virtual
morning, Chuck.
reality.
Good morning,
Chuck,
Annette.
Off the
and
chain.
Good morning, Nika.
I'm rich. I'm living in a nice house. I just drove up today in my brand new car. It's my virtual reality. It's so real. It's real.
It's so real. It's real. I don't like it.
In my own head, I'm like, we got to make these changes, man. If I can't do it in person, I'm gonna do it in my mind.
I think maybe I guess it's a balance, right? You just have to figure how much of the visualization is just the visualization, and then how do you motivate yourself to get the work in without feeling gratified by the visualization.
So that's the key right there, right? So like when I was visualizing, taking everything off of the table, and I was just like, yeah, we're gonna get that done. Like that part of it was like, okay, now, like I had to
get up and do it now.
Okay,
let's go.
So once I got up and I was like, I picked up the envelopes, it was like, then I had to talk myself into finishing it, right? So it was like, we got the envelopes, we got that was step 1.
Step 1.
Now get the things and the things you're almost there, now wiping it.
And it worked. Look at you.
And that thing got clean. That
Look
was the last thing I did.
Congratulations.
But it is very much that, because that visual is very rewarding.
Yeah.
And you ain't even done
Too
nothing.
rewarding.
Yeah. And you haven't even done nothing, but you feel like you did.
Yeah.
Have you ever binge watched something so much that it almost becomes a reality? I'm working on a routine on this one too. So when I binge watch this,
I'm guessing the past 4 days you spent with some town
Showtime
on some show. Right.
We're building a show and watching a show, but I was binge watching something. I can't even remember what. But in my mind, I was thinking, I was doing Law & Order. I was on Ion Positive TV.
Oh, my God.
And so Law & Order was on, right? And so literally when I walked outside, I had this feeling of like, look, there's been so many rapes in this area.
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding?
Yes, because there hasn't. I just been watching freaking SVU.
You just been watching SVU.
The rape one and 12 rape shows in a row.
Oh, my gosh.
When I walked outside, I was like,
you started feeling some kind of way.
It's okay out here. There's people raping folks everywhere, you know. Exactly. So then I started thinking about it. I'm like, okay, how do I feel when I binge watch other stuff? So when I binge watch Power, that was 2 seasons of killing and backstabbing and gangster life. And it's like, how did I feel after that? Was I feeling a little rough and tough with my afro puffs? You know what I'm saying? Feeling like I could take on the world.
Right, like I could take on the world.
24 episodes of Power.
I got everything I need now. I know exactly what to do.
I know this game. You don't know nothing.
Don't know nothing.
You've been watching television.
Wow.
So when I watch Scandal, when I binge watch Scandal, I had to
move to DC.
Look, I had to make sure I didn't come on this microphone and report that the president was having an affair with a black woman. I feel like that was really happening. It's like, okay, can't believe the president's sleeping with that chick. Oh, wait.
Y'all don't understand.
That's not real.
I know everything that's happening inside the White House.
It's not happening. It's not really happening, nigga.
You gotta watch fun.
Don't report that on the morning show that the president is having an affair. Especially not now. Especially if you watch old episodes. You know, we all in this new thing. Show not happening with President Orange. So
are those the things that you binge? Like you binge like dramatic kind of things?
Stuff. Yeah. So well, you know the popular shows. So Power, Empire. Okay. You know, anything that has the whole season that you watch. I binge watched the Orange is the New Black. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, I had to stop doing that. I was like, I can't watch another lesbian act. I just didn't want to. And it had nothing to do but because of the lesbian acts.
Let me guess, you stopped at season 2.
Halfway through the first. I was like, look, man.
It's
and I would say I did watch a couple of season 2s, but I just couldn't. And in my mind, I was thinking,
get through it. Trust me. Like the past couple, it's almost non-existent. It's really just about the stories.
Now it's about the story.
It's really just about. Yeah, it's really. But I mean, you know, they delve into that because it happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they delve into that, and then now, you know, that's kind of. You get it, right? Okay, now let's continue to tell these stories.
Right.
Trust me.
Look, I was like I don't want to finish watching Orange is the New Black, and then all of a sudden I like women. Like we's not finna brainwash my ass.
This better not awaken anything in me. No, honestly, here's the other part, right? So sometimes you would think as a guy
that you would like watching that.
Like it's not, because it's also not portrayed in a particularly sexy way.
No.
It's jail sex.
Exactly.
Right? So you watch it and you're like, okay, just fast forward through that part and get back to the stories. Yeah. Trust me, you'll dig it.
No, I got you. And I dig the show, but it was just, again, the binge watching of it. It becomes, you know, you're watching it so much that you're like, dang, it's almost this reality. And I'm like, look, man.
Get back on it. Get back on it. You'll enjoy it. What do I binge? I usually try to binge stuff that's very that is either so out there that it's just entertainment. I know it's entertainment. This is, you know, or it's like trying to watch something that's going to stimulate my mind. And then I try not to watch it so much because I forget.
Right.
It's like, no, it's too much information. Hold on. I'll watch some more tomorrow.
Right.
Or I'll watch some more the next day. Or I'll watch some more because it's.
I'm with you on that too, because I've done documentaries, a whole day of documentaries, and that's huge too, because you feel like by the end of the day you
Professor
ask me a question.
Right? Ask me anything. I will tell you.
Why that did that back in 1969. See, the Olympics, they was just wrong. And you'd be like, what? I'm sorry, I've been binge watching documentaries all day. So, that's another thing, you know, when you watch documentaries now, especially the music ones, we were talking about that too. Like most of the men beat on the women, you know what I'm saying? Like there was some type of abuse or something going on, and it's like you watch them, you're like, I need a break. Like somebody put some cartoons on.
I watch some Disney movies.
Because it's usually abuse of drugs, abuse of sex, or whatever. Constantly, and then some kind of racism or something. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is. I was watching the boxing. I really like the boxing movie of the young gentleman that's from. I can't remember. And he boxed the black dude, and then he won, and then he quit in the ring. Where was that movie? You don't like that movie?
Okay, so you just said the guy that was a boxer, and then he boxed the black dude, and then he won, and then there's no context clues there, nigga. I don't know. That's like all of boxing. That's 90% of boxing. Period.
Then he quit in the ring, and then and it was a famous black dude though that everybody like. Man, why I can't remember this movie? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
We do not.
At all.
Not at all.
Give me a.
You said that he quit in the middle of his fight.
In the fight when he was fighting the black dude for the second fight.
No mas. Was he
no more
a Latino guy?
Yes.
Roberto Duran.
That sound. Who'd he fight?
Oh, I don't know who he fought, but he's one of the. I don't know. I don't remember the.
I think it's Roberto.
The no mas fight.
It sounds real familiar. Look, he's like, I got to go look it up.
I don't remember who the No Mas fight was against.
And then it was this whole thing, and they were talking about the government and all that, and the river, and they're gonna give us our river back. And they were like, it's our river. How's the American United States gonna give us our stuff back? The Panama Canal, Panama, huh? Maybe. Anybody
the Panama Canal is okay. So the Panama Canal is not a river.
I know. That's what
it's a canal.
Check them up with names.
And then. Okay, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
He fought Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yes.
Sugar Ray.
He fought Sugar Ray Leonard, and Sugar Ray Leonard apparently lost something in that fight because he hits. I guess they called him the Iron Glove.
They called him manos de piedra, so stone hands.
Stone hands, yes, because he hit really, really hard, and it hurt. Oh boy,
it hurts
in his fight,
right?
And he had like a little blindness or something from that fight, or something like that.
I believe it.
Anyway, when I was watching, it was like movies like that. You know what I'm saying? They're true, but they're whatever, and you're like learning something that you probably never have known before.
Sure. Autobiographical.
Kind of like the fact that there's even a government even worried about like a boxing like a boxing match. To me, that's opens eyes to things too. You know what I'm saying? Right. Another one was the black man, my black guy who ran in the Olympics for the first time, and they went over to Russia. I think it was
Germany.
It was Germany. It wasn't Russia. It was Germany. I got the movie.
Was it about?
These are all famous people that I should know the names of.
Especially after spending a couple hours with them.
Right, but I forget.
Was it Jesse Owens?
Jesse
Owens,
the black dude in the Olympics that won three medals
in Germany in front of Hitler.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Hitler wouldn't shake his hand.
Right.
Movie. It was in the movie. These are the movies that I watched. Right. I had never known anything about any of this stuff.
That's because, well, you saw the documentary. So it's because Hitler came with his Aryan race and nobody's better. And
nobody's better and all this
stuff. Black dude from, I don't know where, Oklahoma, Louisiana came through and was like...
But then the whole thing of even like them not wanting to go to the Olympics and them asking him not to go to do the black movement and all, it's like, what is going on? These people are running track. You know what I'm saying? Who knew all that stuff was happening?
Right.
I do now. But yeah. So after I binge watch stuff like that, I just feel like calling somebody and feel like, I don't know.
I need to join a group so I can make a difference.
Right.
I play tennis. You guys need tennis people to join your group and go and beat up the Nazis. I don't know.
I know karate.
I know karate. We can get a tournament going. I don't know.
So yeah, binge watching things. All that to say, to your point, that yes, we create these realities, and you live. You
feel like you ran
like I've been in there.
1933 Olympics.
Like I was dating them. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever.
Oh, Nika.
I was there.
Oh, Nika.
And meanwhile, don't mess with me because I binge watch Power too. So I think I'm a gangster at the same time. Ain't never done nothing. Ain't been to fight in my life outside of the karate ring.
Right.
But I'm a gangster.
But I will take you.
The only gun I've ever held was
and
one
then
at the,
go cut it out.
Right.
What?
Only gun I've held is the one at the shooting range. But I was a gangster.
You're a gangster.
No, I'm not.
Wow.
It's just right after I watch Power.
It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind.
As we've been talking all morning, it's all in the mind. She's a gangster. She's a gangster in her own imagination.
Yeah.
All right, so
what's going on in the real world?
You like Nick Cannon?
Nick Cannon is to me is like something to work towards.
Something to work towards.
Yeah, Nick Cannon is like if I was to say that would be like me. The dude with 8 jobs because he hosts this and hosts that and on this and on that and woo-doo-woo and woo-doo-woo.
Right.
He everywhere.
Okay. Well, if you like Nick Cannon, if you're a fan and you watch Wildin' Out and stuff, which I watch Wildin' Out with my son all the time. I think it's a lot of fun. Well, he is in talks right now with Fox to do a late night show. Right, so more jobs, but basically, building his world, his little empire and stuff, and trying to make it work. So he's teaming up with Michael Davies, which is the executive producer of Talking Dead. So there are a few shows, usually on the sci-fi side of things, where there is a show that comes on after that show at some point to talk about that show. right? So The Walking Dead is a very popular show among people who like zombie shows and stuff like that, and sci-fi people, right? So there is another show called Talking Dead that basically has a panel of people that just
talk about The Walking Dead.
Talk about The Walking Dead.
Wow.
Like, so this episode was on tonight. Oh my gosh, did you see when? La la la. So then they start to theorize and they start to talk about the franchise and the thing, kind of like doing a podcast about a thing,
right?
You know, and reacting to a thing. So anyway, that's The Talking Dead. So Nick Cannon is in talks with the producer of that show to perhaps do a weekly topical late night series, right?
Okay.
So if they do that, you wonder, is he going to try to do it since it's about topical things?
It's going to be like a skit type?
No, topical, right? So basically what you and I do every morning is topical.
Right.
So is he going to try to talk about politics? Is he going to try to be like the Jon Stewart or another, one of these political people? Or
is he officially a comedian? He's not, right? He's a host.
I think he's a comedic actor because he's been in movies and other things, right? So he's an actor. His show is a sketch comedy show. The Wild 'N Out that he does on MTV is a sketch comedy show.
Right.
He also hosted America's Got Talent because he's, a funny and charismatic guy,
host,
right? Host. So I think he's an actor. I think he's an actor that can host. But I don't know that he's a host that can act.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I think he's an actor that can also host. But I don't know. I mean, he's an all-around Renaissance kind of entertainer. You know what I mean? Musician.
He hasn't put out. I'm about to say, has he put out any music?
He's put out music.
Did he start off as a musician? I don't think so. I think
he started out doing sketch comedy. Actually, he started out. I think his first big gig was he was on All That. Remember All That when we were kids? It's a Nickelodeon show.
I do, but I don't.
That's where Keenan and Kel came from, and Kenan Thompson. That's on Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
That was his camp. So Kenan Thompson has been doing sketch comedy since he was a little kid.
How in the heck did he meet Mariah?
Circles.
I mean,
how do we meet anybody?
And I won't say
right?
meet her. I won't say meet him like that. I just
get with her.
Yeah, it just seemed like his
mama.
You
got game. What?
I don't know. It seemed like his mama.
What? That Mariah Carey would be his mama?
That's what it seemed like.
Why? This dude is
I don't know.
Our age.
I don't know.
So is Mariah. I think that Mariah's older than us.
I think it's because he looks so young, and he has that playful. I don't see him as the same age as Mariah. I see Mariah as his mama. I always did. When they got together, I was just like, that just don't. Nick Cannon just seems so much younger than her.
Well, Mariah Carey's a few years older than us.
I think it's just his fun-loving. I think it's just his fun-loving personality that makes him seem younger.
He also, if you think about also, he has a show too that I like. Think about Marlon Wayans. Is he young?
I love Marlon Wayans.
How old is he though?
I don't know. I want to say he's.
Would he be like a Nick Cannon, or would he skew younger than Nick Cannon or older than Nick Cannon? Would he, in your mind?
I think he would be about the same age, but I don't even think of it as the actual age. I think it's more their personality,
the appeal,
and stuff, because
and the way they dress, and the way they walk, and the way they talk, and the way they.
Compared to Mariah, he seems like a child. Level. Compared to Mariah seems like, I'm a diva. I'm this. I need this type of man. He's got to have this much money. He's got to be this tall to ride this ride. That's how it seems to me with her.
Okay.
And it seems Nick Cannon just he scooted in.
Oh, there you go. So Nina just wrote there was a 10-year age difference between Mariah and Nick. Yeah, still not his mama though. Come on.
I'm like, she.
That is not his mom.
It's not, but it looked like it's very much portrayed. It looked like that.
So let me tell you a quick anecdote about how that feels, right? And how perception is so much different than reality sometimes, right? So I was and still am friends with an anchor of network news, right? And wonderful person, wonderful lady. Met her when I first got on TV. Great, right? Very commanding. Walks into a room, everything kind of stops. A different, she's a big personality and a very strong female presence, right? A very strong presence, period, female or otherwise. Type of woman walks into a room and people take note, and they kind of, especially in the newsroom, they stop and they pay attention. What does she want? What does she need? What is happening, right? Okay, great. So we became friends because I don't play that, right? So everybody stop and pay attention. I'm like, hey girl, what's going on? And I'm running up and how you doing, right? So she always looks at me as and calls me a little brother. Okay, I'm your little brother. She's like a year older than me. I found out after just meeting her for the first time, right? She's like a year, maybe 2 years older than I am. So yes, I could be a little brother, but can I just tell you, first time we met on a regular kind of social, she came through, had dinner at the house and stuff like that. When you pull somebody like that out of that kind of environment, this is a regular, like,
always a regular,
just
individual.
a regular, like, hey girl, say what's going on. And like,
always a regular individual.
I'm like, wait a minute, you don't act like this at work. She's like, man, I can't act like this at work. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I can't do this at work. At work, I have to be a thing, or else they won't take me seriously. I gotta be twice as better for half the respect. You know, twice as good.
Hi, how you doing,
for half the
woman?
respect.
Hi, how you doing, being an ethnic woman?
An ethnic woman, exactly. So, but yeah, when she just came through, jeans, a t-shirt, like, oh, what's going on? What we having? What are we? I was like, whoa.
Always, it's always.
And
like
so, I imagine that maybe that's what happens with Mariah, right? In public, it's a thing. The diva, the whatever, right?
Right.
And then when her and Nick are just by themselves, chilling, no public eye, no nothing, I'm imagining that she's just a regular, you know, down home, the same as anybody else, and the compatibility must be amazing. They got married, they had children.
Very regular, but she's still probably I still see her as a regular snooty person. What's that word that I don't like? There's people I don't like. Oh man, why did it come out?
Narcissist?
No, that you think you better than folks, and you be walking around like your ish don't stink. Oh my gosh.
Narcissist?
No, that's not the word I'm looking for.
She's stuck up. You think that she's very stuck up and selfish and
absolutely normally.
You think so? Well, you don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know.
That's the vibe that I get from her.
Okay.
Or a diva type vibe. You know, that's real. People really walk around here acting like they want to be. I do not want to be a diva. Don't call me a diva. I'm not a diva. I don't act anything like a diva. And I don't think that's a complimentary word.
Okay.
Right? So I wouldn't even put,
you.
I'm a diva on my shirt. That's not a complimentary word. That means that you think, to me, that you think you better than something. That you think, you know, your stuff is, I don't like it, right?
Okay.
So, and I can't think of the word that I'm thinking of, but people are very much like that, and I see her as that type of person who thinks she's better than somebody in whatever way, whether it be a diva way, whether it be a, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, nah.
Well,
I'm good.
I don't know how to tell you this, but.
And you know, like Gabrielle Union. I feel like her character is her personality, right? Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know.
I have no clue. But I feel like that's
know.
probably how she is, like in real life too. Kanye, for sure, his personality is the same.
So can I just tell you, this weekend's SNL was hilarious. Pete Davidson did the oh my gosh! So you know how the middle? Do you watch SNL? I don't know. So okay,
I watch the clips.
Every episode of SNL is an opening thing. They call it the cold open. Then they do the introduction. Where they show everybody starring this one and that one and the musical guest and whatever. And then they come, they do a monologue, and then it's sketch. Right? Halfway through sketch, and then the musical act. After the musical act is halfway through the show. At that point, they do the news thing that you see all the clips of, right?
Yes.
So during that news thing, they do some news. Then they have somebody come in and do some comedy. During that part, do a little like acting like a person, like a character. They do a character that's telling the news, and then they come back, do more news, and then they're out, right? So they took that part as tonight we have, and Pete Davidson came in. He's one of the cast members. And he talked about how he and Michael Che had a conversation about who's the one that needs to talk about Kanye West, what he did last weekend. Right? Because remember last weekend at the end of Saturday Night Live, Kanye went on this rant that Chris Rock show. Remember we talked about it, right? And Kanye went on this rant and everybody was kind of like, oh man, whatever. Who's going to talk about that right now? Right? Pete Davidson and Michael Che said, Pete Davidson said that he and Michael Che had a conversation. Which one of us should talk about it? Because Che's black, but I'm crazy. So he said, we decided that it would be me because we both know which Kanye is at the wheel right now.
The crazy one. Not the black one. Right.
And he started talking about how, you know, Kanye should get back on the meds because he's on the meds. He's like, I'm on meds. They're great. I wish somebody told me to get back on the meds when I wore this hat, and then they showed a picture of him in like this weird hat or that stupid shirt or whatever. But you know, at the end it was all like, but where's drop that album though? Where's the album? Like the summation of what he said was basically he is a genius. Kanye West is a musical genius. Just like he's a genius at music, just like Joey Chestnut is a genius at hot dog eating, right? He's the last hot dog eating contest champion, right? He was like, but I don't care about Joey Chestnut's opinion outside of eating hot dogs.
Outside of hot dogs. There we go. Somebody say amen. Can somebody say
and amen? He was basically saying it's the same thing with this. And he also said, he said a line that was, I just thought it was genius. He said that, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Hold on. He said that Kanye's a genius. And do you know how wrong you have to be politically for me to take notice? He said, this is terrible.
You got to be extremely
you gotta be terrible for me to notice, right?
That's hilarious.
So anyway, he's just basically saying,
what's Kanye
stick
doing?
to the music or whatever. Well, Kanye West is not taking that advice at all. He's going to, on Thursday, I believe, it's all set. Kanye is heading over to the White House to meet with Donald Trump and Jared Kushner. They're going to have a lunch together and, talk about some things. Donald Trump is obviously very happy hearing that Kanye took over at the end of Saturday Night Live to talk about him and how awesome he is. So, of course, come on over, Kanye. Let's have a conversation.
That's all I got, man.
Anyway, so Kanye West is set to meet the president and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, at the White House on Thursday, according to reports by the New York Times. West is expected to attend a lunch with Kushner and then meet President Donald Trump afterward. But further details are not reported. Why are they going to talk?
What?
Well, you never know.
You
never know what could happen. When Kanye's wife went up in there, somebody was free.
We have already said he's not the spokesperson for black people. So I hope he got the memo before he do go up in there. The black people of America feel no.
Ooh, Nikki Haley resigned. Breaking news. Hold on.
Oh, I was like, who we talking about? What happened?
Breaking news. Oh, big shout out to Nick Bennett.
She said,
thanks for watching, brother. Appreciate
Nicole
you.
Says Kanye has stated that he is off his bipolar meds.
Right.
And this is a major issue with him right now.
Right. So being off your meds, that was another thing that Pete Davidson said. He was like, he's like, this is the real me, because Kanye's saying, I'm off my meds, and this is the real me. He's like, what if you were on a plane and the pilot came on and was like, I am off my meds, and the real me is flying this plane right now. Man, you would jump off so quickly.
So mad. Oh my God.
Okay, so hold on a second. President Trump has accepted Nikki Haley's resignation as UN ambassador. According to two sources briefed on their conversation, the timing of her departure is still unclear. The president promised a big announcement with her at 10:30 a.m.
Okay, real quick question,
this
fast
is breaking
before we go there.
Right now. So go ahead. Yeah.
The only question that I had was, and I think I forgot my question. Okay,
I'm sorry.
So this.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
This is just breaking news, and I just want to make sure to get it out.
No, it's okay. It's because it's all the same situation here. But so who's this lady?
Nikki Haley?
Nikki Haley.
The ambassador, United States ambassador to the United Nations.
Okay. She quit. That's what you just said.
That's what it says here.
Saying. All right.
What we're hearing, Axios is reporting what they're hearing is that Haley discussed her resignation with Trump last week when she visited him at the White House. Her news shocked a number of senior foreign policy officials in the Trump administration. A little bit of her background. Haley, the former governor of South Carolina, was easily confirmed 4 days after President Trump's inauguration in 2017. She has overseen Trump's shift in dealing with the UN, including the U.S. exit from the UN Human Rights Council, which Haley called the organization's greatest failure. Okay. Worth noting, she wrote in a public op-ed in September challenging the New York Times anonymous op-ed. I don't agree with the president on everything. When there is disagreement, there is a right way and a wrong way to address it. I pick up the phone and I call him or meet with him in person. Like my colleagues in the cabinet and on the National Security Council, I have very open access to the president. He does not shut out his advisors, and he does not demand everyone agree with him. I can talk to him most any time, and I frequently do. And she also said, if I disagree with something and believe that it is important enough to raise with the president, I do it, and he listens. So anyway,
So it's not like she's resigning because of the president.
I don't know why but we don't know why she's resigning, but this is basically giving you a little background and basically what's been happening over the past few months with her. But we'll find out. Apparently, he has a big announcement that has something to do with her at 10:30, whether it's that she resigned or she's moving around or who knows what it could be. So we'll find out in a few minutes.
So that's happening now. Kavanaugh
that is happening right now.
Got entered in, on Friday?
Yep. Okay. So,
right. So, I mean, this is what's going on with our stuff.
What's new?
I knew when Paul called me Friday morning, I was like, oh, Kavanaugh must have been.
Yeah. Well, the big piece of news that came out of that was that yesterday in his, presentation of Dude, he was like, look, here's our guy. He was confirmed over the weekend, and yesterday they had there was a speech, and the whole of the Supreme Court was there in attendance in the front, and then all other people celebrating the Kavanaugh's victory, so to speak. This man said that he has been found innocent of everything that he was accused of during his speech.
Okay.
I was like, he was? I just thought that they didn't try really hard, and then nobody cared and voted him in anyway. I didn't, and it wasn't a trial; it was a job interview.
Right. It wasn't a trial. It was
a job interview.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. So found innocent. Is that really what it is?
He has been found innocent, according to the president. Okay.
Oh my God.
Moving on. Anyway, that is your Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh. He's in. Okay, so continuing on in a little more political news before we go to more fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
Taylor Swift over the weekend, for the first time, tweeted out or social media'd out her preference when it comes to politics. This was the first time she addressed it. Why? Because when you're that popular, you want everybody to keep liking you. You don't want to suddenly alienate half the people, right? Or what seems to be half the people.
Right.
So she is from apparently Tennessee, or she lives in Tennessee. And she came out in support of all the Democrats running in Tennessee. Basically saying, based on what I have seen here at home and around the world, these are the people I think need to be running things.
Gotcha.
Okay, so she came out in favor of that. Today, I think she did that over the weekend. Today, lots of people are reporting that voter registration zoomed.
Oh, really?
Yep. After she made her. Yeah, but she said that more than 65,000 people have registered to vote around the country in the 24-hour period after Taylor Swift waded into politics and said that she would back Tennessee's Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate. This is according to Vote.org.
Got you.
Okay. This compares with 190,178 new voters registered nationwide during the entire month of September. So in September, 190,000 people. In 24 hours after Taylor Swift said, I want to do this, 65,000 people in one day.
So ridiculous. I mean, and I'm not saying it's ridiculous, but it's so crazy what people follow, right? Like, or what makes people jump or move or whatever the case may be.
Culture has a lot to do with it, right?
It has a ton to do with it. But and
she has 112 between 112 and 113 million followers just on Instagram.
And how many of them are just now 17, 18 years old, first year voters, never even thought about it until Taylor Swift said something.
Swift's,
oh no, I'm going to go vote
says,
now. Tay-Tay said, we need to go vote, and I'm going to go vote.
See the power that we as media people have.
I'm just saying.
It's amazing.
And what does Tay-Tay do? She sings.
She's a singer.
That's it.
Again, talking to Pete Davidson, though.
But you know what I'm saying?
Maybe I don't care about, that's not
I just want to sing.
Non-singing related things.
Kind of like the girl said about when they're talking about the football players, just shut up and dribble. Just shut up and throw the football. I mean, it's the same thing across the board when we talking about.
Yeah, but that.
I mean,
it is sort of the same thing. It is sort of the same thing, but it's really about what you care about, right?
Right,
so
absolutely.
Do you care what Kanye has to say about anything that's not singing? Do you care about what a basketball player has anything to say about?
It's not,
but there also, on the flip side of that, there are people who do because they're not just fans of what you do on the court.
They're fans of you as a person.
Your lifestyle, right? Of how you live. That's why social media. If social media was just full of basketball stuff.
God.
If social media was only full of movie trailers, The Rock wouldn't have that many people following him, right? Because it's about his lifestyle and it's about what he did, all the other things.
But when you put your own stuff in there and people feel like they know you or they're getting to know you, it's a completely different story. Like he follows me. He liked one of my posts. Oh my gosh! Someone would screenshot the fact that he liked a post and reposted the fact. Look, The Rock liked my post. That's so big.
Suddenly, I have 1 million followers.
Suddenly, I'm so important because someone liked my post. Like when you say that out loud, it almost sounds ridiculous, right? But it's all I'm saying. But here's the thing, and I just want to let y'all know, since we were talking about voting, and Tay-Tay hooked it up and got all these people to register. But look, today is the last day to register to vote. It is the last day. It is the 9th. If you do not register by today, online, fill it out, whatever the case may be.
But you see, that's the thing, right? So everything has to be in today.
Everything has to be.
Where do you register to vote? That's the question. So I'm going to look it up. But where can you register to vote that you don't have to mail it in?
Okay, so that's the question. It's easier to find someone where to register to vote than to go try to mail it in. And I went to go, someone had posted this up, a link up. And so I said, let me go just check my stuff. Why was that the most difficult thing in the land? It took me to rerouted me to 4 different pages. Then I had to fill out all this stuff. I said, this, again, the tactic. We're a microwave society. We want things done yesterday.
Yeah.
So now I have to actually fill out this page, and then I'm getting rerouted to 3 or 4 pages. If you don't stay focused, you're off that site. Screw it.
Yeah.
I'll go try somewhere else.
Right.
So you already know there's a percentage of people that don't get registered just because of the difficulty of registering on the website. Right. And then they don't know where to go grab a voter registration.
Right.
The District 2, if you're on the east side, District 2 office has them. SA Fighting Back has them, and the Claude Black has them. Pretty much any city entity, like the library.
According to the Texas Secretary of State, Rolando Pablos, you can go to register to vote at your local, the register to vote in person, at your local election office. Right, of wherever it is that you live. So if you live in Bexar, I know it's Bear. This is Bear County too, right? Yes. Okay. And I actually found the etymology of bear, why that's pronounced bear. I found out.
Tell us later.
Not that long ago. Right. Election administrator Jackie Callanan, and then it has the phone number, and it also has, it's basically 1103 South Frio Street 100 in San Antonio.
What about Jailhouse?
Right. So you could go there. There's Blanco County and Borden County, and there's all kinds of county spots where you can go to physically
go in there, because obviously they're federal whatever places, so they're gonna have that paperwork.
Right.
If you're just like, man, I don't know, I'm next to the library, I can guarantee you the library got a voter's registration. Like anything that's a city type thing. They want you to vote. They're trying to get you to vote. They're trying to get you registered. So you could literally probably walk into a freaking HEB on the east side, and then somebody's registering somebody to vote. Because the one thing that the Democrats do, and this is a known thing, is that they register 3 times more people than Republicans.
Yeah.
Every year they register 3 times more people. Somebody said getting them to register is one thing, but getting them to vote is another. This is from Annette. Saw a clip of college kids waiting on a bus, and they asked them if they are going to vote, and out of 20 people, only 1 raised their hand. So again, you go through the excitement. Tay created some excitement with registering, but I'm gonna need Tay to come back on there on the 6th and say, did all my fit folks get to the polls? Like, remember I said go an extra mile. So what a lot of people do is they go into the hood. I'm just speaking honestly, right?
Yep.
They go into the hood. They go to the people that they think do not vote. They ask them, "Hey, are you registered to vote?" "No." "Okay, register to vote." They give them the paper. They register to vote. They take pictures of them. "Oh, look, we registering all these people to vote." But you didn't ask the important questions. The important questions are: do you have a ride to the polls on October 22nd during early voting or November 6th? Do you need a ride? Do you need a reminder? I mean, the real questions to make sure that you actually get to the voting poll, right? Like, why do all of this legwork, and then half the people, 3/4 of the people ain't gonna show up to the polls?
Right.
I feel like we need to go one more extra step. It might be one more extra question. It might be y'all all meet us here at the corner at this particular time, and I'm gonna have buses just picking people up and taking y'all to the polls.
Taking you to vote.
Something. But just saying, oh, hey, fill this out, and then feeling proud, like, oh my God, we registered 752 people today. Great. But
are they going to vote?
Are they going to vote?
Right. The registration is not the vote.
It's not the vote.
Right.
It's not. We're not trying to rock the registration.
Right.
We're trying to rock the vote.
Trying to rock the vote. Trying to rock the vote.
Yeah.
So anyway, continuing on, Taylor Swift did that, and then Donald Trump did make a statement yesterday about that, and basically saying, I think I like Taylor Swift's music about 25% less now.
He didn't say that. No, he did not say he liked it 25% less because she got all them people registered to vote.
Yes. Well, no, not just registered to vote, but because who she's endorsing.
Oh, because who she's endorsing.
She's endorsing the other side for him.
I like her 25%
I think I like her music
less.
25% less now. So that's funny though.
Donald, get off of
It's
Twitter.
a little funny.
It's hilarious.
It's a little funny.
It just shows him over and over again the type of person that he is. This is the man that he is. This is the man behind the pills.
I think I like her.
Behind the meds.
Yeah. I'm not taking my meds. This is the real Donald Trump.
This is the real Donald Trump. OMG.
Oh, Mia says that if you register by mail, it can be postmarked no later than today. I didn't know that it had to be that you can have it postmarked today and that it would work. That I didn't know.
Well,
thank you, Mia. Appreciate you.
I'm just saying.
Big shout out to Nicole. Big shout out to Annette. Big shout out to Glow. And of course, Christina Porter, our friend Christyle.
Yes.
She
Okay,
awesome.
look. Check this out.
Yes.
Check this out.
Are you going to talk about Katy Perry?
Pepe?
Wow. Yes. It would be KK, I think, right? Because if Taylor Swift is Tay.
I don't know.
This is terrible. Leave my name alone, people. Don't just put stuff in front of my name and think it's yours now. Ugh.
Oh my goodness, no. I was actually going to talk about the fact that Cat Williams was in jail again.
Cat Williams.
Or got arrested again.
Got arrested.
Oh, baby.
In Oregon. Pled not guilty to alleged driver assault. But apparently, as of the story that I read, apparently he's still in custody over a non-related
warrant.
Yeah, warrant. Over a non-related warrant.
Let me tell you something about Cat. Cat, poor baby, man. Like, I feel like the whole, like, when he spoke and he talked about Tiffany and oh boy, Cat.
Oh, well, when he talked about night school, the night school crew. When he talked about Tiffany Haddish
and Kevin Hart. Thank you.
Well, he really talked about her, not him.
Yes, it really talked about her.
Right.
And like when that whole thing went, and then I don't know, and then the award show, and then he like bowed at her feet, and
right.
And they took the picture. I just feel like that was just such.
He also took an Emmy with him.
Yeah, he won an Emmy.
Yeah,
he
like this is an Emmy award-winning guy. Like this is a man who is very wealthy. That. I mean, even though the perception of a thing,
right,
is very different than the reality of a thing. Even though the perception of him is one way, this is a very wealthy man. This is a very honored man. I mean, this man walked it like that night where Tiffany Haddish got an Emmy. So did he.
Yeah, and they made history because they were the four in that category. Like all of them were black actors that won, and then they made history that year, this past year. So yeah, like that's the crazy thing. Like I'm glad that you said that because that was even they failed to mention that point when they was taking pictures of him bowing down with her Emmy. But he won an Emmy too.
He won an Emmy too.
But see how the media makes people seem certain, ways, and it's like, I'm like, oh, my cat. He's just it's like
I think it's about support.
He's got that mark on him.
It's about support, right? So the media will support you or not support you,
and he's got that mark on him.
He's currently not getting the media support, but it's also because there's a I guess it's according to him a specific game that he's not playing. So if you're not a part of the game, then you don't get the same shine.
That's right.
You don't get the same shine as those who are playing, that particular media game, right?
That's
so all of his specials, none of them were done with either the money or the deals from any of the biggies. So like his specials weren't HBO, they weren't Showtime, they weren't Netflix, they weren't. He himself made them and then put them out. Right,
and so sold out and did
it's still sold out and all that on the live side, but even on the putting out the shows, he made an incredible amount of money. But again, when you don't have the support, so to speak, when you don't have the deals with HBO or Netflix, you're not going to get the shine that brings you.
And people don't realize that there's a difference. Right, so there's a difference between the indie artist and the Sony signed artist, right, and everything else, and kind of how we were talking about that is Tiffany getting that shine right now and being underneath Kevin Hart and her bringing him up. She's getting kind of some of Kevin's shine, and they're playing the game, so they're getting
So here's a question for you. If you had a choice, because I'm kind of thinking that this is the choice that Cat Williams had, and he chose one thing over another.
Yes.
If Nika Cleaver gets the choice of, I guess you can just boil it down to being rich or famous, which would you choose?
Right.
Because when you're dealing with Sony, like you just said, a Sony artist, right? You're gonna be crazy famous, but you may not be rich.
You may not be rich
because the fame comes at the price of your money that's getting spent to make you famous, right?
Absolutely.
So then the question is, would you rather be rich or famous?
So,
would you be good with being famous until you then maybe later became rich?
Right.
Or not?
So what I try to explain to people, I'm going to say rich, right? Because now I know better.
Right.
Before I would have said famous.
Right.
But there is a difference between the two. Radio personalities, this is a great example.
Right.
Being a radio personality is not about the paycheck. Y'all, I don't care who it is. If you're not the freaking Tom Joyner Morning Show or a syndicated show, and usually even a syndicated show, the only one DJ is making over $50,000. Now remind me, I just said 50. I didn't say 150. I didn't say $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Your average DJ personality makes $30,000, $20,000 a year. But they're famous in their city.
Right.
So when they walk into a club, they don't have to pay. When they walk into this, they don't have to do this. They get discounts on everything. They get this for free. But their paychecks are less than yours.
Right.
They've got fame, not money.
Right.
It's nice. It's great for a moment in time. But at the end of the day, you need that money.
You need money.
Because anything can take away the fame away.
Stuff, right.
You messing up one night can take the fame away. Them switching networks, you know what? We no longer want this audience. We want this audience now.
Yeah.
Can take that fame away.
Right.
So anything can take the fame away. But that money obviously is gonna keep you where you need to be.
Indeed.
But so younger, I would have said fame. Now rich. Screw them big networks.
So it seems as though, at least from the outside, that's the choice that Cat Williams made, right? I think I'd rather be rich instead of that extra famous, right? Because he could have been in, you know, every movie. Like, you know, he could have been in all the movies. He could have been on all the Netflix specials. But what some people fail to realize is in the business of things, let's say, for instance, you have a special and you made the special and then you got distribution from, I don't know, Universal or Fox or Sony or one of these, you know, big companies.
You're in every store in one day.
You're in every store in one day.
In every channel.
But it isn't until they recoup all the money that they spent on getting you in every store in one day, plus making the physical copies, plus the advertising, which is really where so much of the money, you know, goes to the advertising of your thing in order to sell units. Until they recoup all that money, you get nothing.
Right.
So you get famous, but no rich.
No rich.
Right? No rich. And Cat Williams bypassed that. It's like, look, I'll just do it. I'll put it out myself. I think enough people will know that it exists to buy it, especially through word of mouth, and then I'll just keep all the money.
And if you think about it, I think that's exactly what happened. But if you think about it, see how many folks actually want that fame and feed off of, oh, I want the fame.
I want to be everywhere. I want awards. I want to be on the red carpets. I
want to have a do-do-do-do. I want to have, and they want that fame. They don't want, and they think that fame comes along with money.
No.
But it does. Not all the time. Not all the time.
Money doesn't come along with fame either. There was these guys, these guys that do reggaeton that I think they're great, Joel and Randy, and they had, I think it's Joel and Randy, and they had an album called Broken Famous. Instead of Rich and Famous, we can't Broken Famous, and then Broken Famous 2.
Let me ask you a question, because we're talking about money, and I thought about this. Odell Beckham Jr., football over the weekend was crazy, right? Like, there was all kind of crazy plays happening.
Drew Brees, congratulations, Drew Brees. Yeah. There was lots happening.
There was just all kind of craziness, right? Yep. My Cowboys, of course, they lost in overtime to the Houston Texans. It was like a Texas showdown over the weekend. Texas played OU. Spurs played Houston. The Rockets, Houston Rockets, and then Cowboys played the Rockets. Crap! It was a lot going on, right?
Right.
Odell Beckham Jr., however, right, there was a whole little conversation because he was, you know, he's supposed to be this star player, whatever the case may be, and he got a 3-year contract where he's getting paid $86
a lot of money.
million for like 3 years, right? Win, lose, or draw, hurt or not hurt. OMG, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he had said some stuff. I guess he was airing locker room talk, you know, our team needs to get together. We messing up here. You're not supposed to air your locker room stuff. At the end of the day, the whole weekend they were talking about whether he was being a leader or not a leader, and whether airing the stuff was good or not good, and all of these things, right? All I kept thinking was, this man is getting paid $86 million. 95. I knew it was in the 90s. $95 million over 3 years.
I want to say yeah.
Okay, so we like 30-something thousand. Yeah, it's a lot of money to play football, right? And then I start thinking about everything else that goes along with it, whether it be kneeling or whatever. Man, you doing anything I tell you that you do. Not $95 million.
Well, it's there's so many reasons why to give somebody that much money if you're a team owner, right? Because number one, it's about getting, well, part of it is getting butts in seats, right? You want people that are going to come to watch you, you know, at the stadium, right? So butts in seats equals ticket prices, equals ticket sales, equals concession sales, equals I get to keep my stadium, right? So I get to pay the stadium lease or the land lease on the stadium or whatever it might be. So that's butts in seats. Then it's about eyeballs, right? So our games outpace or out rating, you know, the ratings come in, and our game outdoes, you know, New York Giants games are more watched than any of the other games. Right. So that's I get to renegotiate. So that's I get to renegotiate with the NFL over TV rights, right, and then get some of that percentage money, right? So then that's money that could be coming in. So just one star player bringing eyeballs,
so many different aspects,
so many ways to make money off of that.
And you got to give him.
If I'm making $5, I can give you $95 million. If I'm making $500 million a year,
absolutely,
right? So So there's so many different reasons why to give somebody like that a whole bunch of money over the course of 3 years.
And why they spend the whole weekend talking about him.
And then if you win, forget it.
Right.
You know,
but they're not even winning. They're 1-4.
Right.
Okay, so they're not even winning.
All right, so calm down. I don't think you need to.
I was rooting for
You don't
him.
need to really just. You said it with such like they're 1-4.
I really was rooting for him, man. And then they lost at the end of the game. Like they kicked a field goal at the last 2 seconds. I was like, oh, damn. Almost, man. Y'all,
okay.
I felt bad for the coach and everything. But then I was just like, man, $95 million. Like I can't even get it through my skull.
Well, the New York, I'm looking real quick because the New York Post is asking the question. They're like, the $95 million questions. Is Beckham happy as a Giant? Is he happy in New York? Will he gripe again if they don't just give him the damn ball? Is he the most conflicted $95 million man you'll ever see? So then, but that's funny, right? Because that's when you know, that's when he's feeling like, okay, breathing, because it's not him.
No, it ain't.
It's not him.
It ain't.
And I'm worth my money. And he's in a position right now where he could look at the team and be like, yo, y'all better get your stuff there. I don't care how much you're paying me. You better get it together.
That's what he told him. He's like, look, man, I'm going to get my money.
Right.
Win, lose, draw.
Right.
But you also know people like that don't like to lose.
Right.
Record-breaking situations. Y'all messing up all this stuff.
Right.
I need y'all to get it together. Right. But at the same time, I'm saying, if I'm paying anybody, when we go back and have this conversation, if anybody has a conversation of do you think people should protest or bypass or whatever while on the field, yeah, not if I'm paying you $96 million. I'm going to need you to sit your little ass down.
Or stand up.
Or stand your little ass up. Or shoot a free throw, whatever it is I need you to do. I need you to do. This is why we paying you these things. We are a team
but
together.
you paying me for my following too, though.
No,
right?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Are we paying him for his? Well,
that's the eyeballs. That's the eyeballs, right?
The eyeballs are about his game, not about his side crap.
How do you know? How do you know that his social media game isn't so amazing that he's got that he's got 50 million people following him on Instagram? If that's the case, that if he tweets something,
then if we doing that, then we not really about what we about.
I think that
it's gotta be one or the other.
I think that when it comes to celebrity in 2018 and beyond, it has a lot. Your talent is at whatever it might be. Doesn't necessarily have to be an artistic talent. It could be media training talent, or it could be my Insta fame is on point. Right. Whatever the talent is that you're bringing to the table is really now just the entrance fee. After that, it's about who you are. People want to follow you. People want to know you. People want to be you. Right? So the talent is just the entry point. After that,
but it's not even about, like you said, it's just entry point. It's not even about that. It's just about the followers. Why they're following you? Who cares? Just that they're following you.
I guess.
I'm assuming because people
that's what made The Rock the second highest paid actor in the world.
People love to follow him
because they follow him. His Instagram following is 100+.
That's only because he took his shirt off on Instagram.
Well, not necessarily, because Momoa would also have 100 million people. Right? Momoa should also have 100 million people. Oh my God, Aquaman.
Oh, but see, people don't know him yet. Not like The Rock.
But that's the thing. When is it time for people to know you like that? I've known about Jason Momoa since 2005.
You're a movie guy, though. That's your business.
But still, he's got that.
We didn't know about him until
he was on Game of Thrones. Not Game of Thrones. He's on Game of Thrones. That's
I don't even do that.
Hundreds of millions of people watch that.
We're talking about women, right?
Yep.
That just care about nothing but the finest. Once that movie came out, now we're aware. I saw the previews to his new movie coming out. Oh, watch it. Just wait for it. He'll get it. He gonna get it. And then when they all realize that he's married to Lisa Bonet, right?
Bonet.
Then he's really gonna get it. Like his time is a coming. It's a coming, Zay.
I hope so.
I saw the previews this weekend, and I was like, Aquaman! Yes, I can't wait.
You couldn't wait.
I can't wait. Oh, he looks so good in that movie, ladies. Wow. Great.
Okay. Great. Calm down. Oh my gosh.
His time is coming.
I think actually I can play some of it.
Oh yeah, it's a coming.
I can play a little bit of the Jason Momoa while we talk about him.
He's so fine.
How did we get on Jason Momoa?
Because I don't even know, but I asked you about the football player, and then we went from there, and then it was the following, and then the people, and I'm just saying they have a good following because they take their shirt off on Instagram. That's why the ladies love it.
Is it?
They're saying all these great words.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
And stuff.
Sorry, we're still here. There you go.
You know, it ain't like they're doing that.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Yes,
this is it, right? Nicole Kidman playing the mom.
Yes, that's the mommy.
She got it on with Poseidon.
I really like the way
they
put all the movies together, right? So all the Marvel movies and all the whatever they link, but
well, this is not Marvel. This is DC,
this is
but
DC. You're right.
So even the
DC movies
Wonder
link.
Woman and Superman.
And they link, yes, because they talked during this movie, at the beginning of the movie, they talk about what happened in the last movie with DC and all the whatever, and how he kind of got involved. So.
And right now, actually this weekend was New York Comic Con, and everybody was there enjoying. You got Aquaman in the desert. Like, what is happening right now?
What is happening right now, yeah.
Don't worry. Where there's sand, there's water. Not necessarily, but you know what I mean. Where there's Momoa, there's water.
Right.
So here's the thing. This is probably right now my wife's absolute favorite dude, right? Just the drool tool, right? Is going to be Jason Momoa right now, right? That's her favorite.
I'm going to remember.
If I sat here and did a half hour on Jessica Alba, I wouldn't be able to go home. Isn't that bad? If I sit here and did 20 minutes on Lucy Liu, we'd have a problem, right? So, what is happening?
That's all right.
I don't get it. If I sat here and did 20 minutes on Amber Heard, we might have a problem, which is the young lady right there. Yeah,
the redhead.
We might have an issue.
He does. And I'm loving the humor in these DC Marvel / movies lately. The humor has been fantastic.
I mean, they were comic books, right? So you got to be somewhat, you got to have some kind of humor and some kind of
good stuff.
It's got to be fun. It can't just all be drama.
And it makes sense because I feel like they're supposed to be for the kids, even though they're so for us.
Right? I think it's a little bit of everything.
I'm taking the kids to see Aquaman. Screw the kids.
Yeah,
we go see Aquaman.
Kids, let me go watch it first.
And they're going to mess it up.
To make sure that it's suitable for young children. Meanwhile, I'm only going because I don't want to deal with kids right now.
Exactly.
Right? But, I think it's one of those type of genres now that makes it so that there's something for the kids, there's something for the adults, and as children grow, they'll be able to rewatch and realize I didn't notice that when I was a kid, or I didn't get that that's what they were talking about, and then be able to watch it with a whole new maturity or mindset, right?
Most definitely.
So I know you keep staring at the screen because you're just waiting for him to take off his shirt.
When is he gonna take off his shirt?
That's terrible.
And then of course they put all the firemen in there for the ladies.
Okay.
For us to look at.
Well, I think when it comes to that kind of stuff, it's really about women want you and men want to be you, right? So you look for actors that can carry a thing like that, and you got to be personable and whatever, so that the guys want to be like you, and then of course, the women are
trying to throw their panties at you.
Oh, stop it!
I love it.
Happens to me all the time.
All the time. I can't wait.
But it looks really good.
So they have a scene in here in the previews where they're on a plane, right? And the girl, the redhead, she jumps out the plane with no parachute, and the guy's like, "She just jumped. She don't have a parachute." And Aquaman's like, "I know, redheads, gotta love them." And he jumps after her. It's like, they're crazy, gotta love them. Again.
But she looks like she holds her own, man.
Absolutely.
She's some kind of superhero. I don't know which.
Yeah, she's leading the pack.
Which hero?
She's the one that brings him into reality. You know what I'm saying? He's in denial the whole time of who he is and what's going on, and she kind of brings him in.
That's a whole lot of explosions.
Yes. Jump, girl, jump.
She's awesome. I like Amber Heard. I think she's really cool. Look at that.
So you know what that reminded me of, right?
What's that?
That scene.
What's that?
Night school. He's like, we're going to go up top of the building. We're going to drive off the truck to the other side.
Spoilers. No spoilers. Sorry, everybody. No spoilers.
That was so funny.
All right. So Aquaman will be in theaters on, I want to say Christmas.
Yes, it is Christmas.
So
December.
it's Christmas. December.
Yeah.
Go see Aquaman. Go support Jason Momoa. He's actually a really good dude, and you'll enjoy it.
You've met him before.
No, I haven't met Jason actually. Jason, like, once you reach a certain level, everybody just calls each other their first names. That is, that's something that annoys me. And I shouldn't be like that because I know a lot of people that know a lot of people. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but however you look at it, I know a lot of people that know a lot of people, and it annoys me that even when I know you don't know them and you're still gonna call them by their first name. Come on,
like you know them.
Come on, I don't call anybody by their first name, having known them.
Right.
I don't do that. Right. So if I say, like, for instance, this guy, I was gonna talk about him, but it's getting late in the day. Michael Pena is going to star as Fantasy Island is coming back as a film.
Fantasy Island.
And he's going to play. He's going to play Mr. Rourke in Fantasy Island.
Oh, how funny.
I've met this dude and been with this dude a handful of times. I don't call him Michael like you're supposed to know, or Mike. Oh yeah, Mike P or whatever it is. I call him Michael Pena. When I talk about him, it's Michael Pena. Michael, first name, last name.
Right. No.
I'll be like, oh yeah, so Michael's gonna play Mr. Rourke in the thing. You're gonna be like, Michael. That's so pretentious.
Yeah.
I don't really know that dude. I mean, I know him, but I don't know him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't in it on a first name basis with dude.
It's kind of like me talking about Gabby. I get it. me and Gabby talk about things, and Gabrielle, of course.
Yeah.
Is who I was referring to. Right.
Her mama don't call her Gabby, but you gonna be pretentious about it and think that you can just.
That I can call her Gabby, which that's not even her nickname. Who knows?
But I know
because I haven't met her. So.
I know dudes that are like that. I know you don't know these people, and yet you're gonna call them by like, oh yes, when Jimmy was like, Jimmy
who?
Yeah, exactly.
Jimmy Kimball.
Exactly. Oh, Jimmy played Jimmy had this guy on the show last night. Jimmy.
That is so funny.
Jimmy Fallon had who on the show last night? I'd be like, dude, I know him more than you, and I still call him Jimmy Fallon.
Right.
Not just Jimmy.
Just Jimmy.
Like he's in my circle. Like, please.
Well, those are name droppers.
Yeah,
name droppers are always interesting.
Well, there's a little extra. There's a little extra to it when you just referring to them by their first name. You're not just dropping a name. You're implying that you have a personal.
Cool with them.
You have a personal connection to them.
It's one step more than name dropping.
Yeah.
And name dropping, it's actually horrible. I think name dropping is horrible. So if you do it, most people who know that it's horrible will give you a warning about to name drop, or they'll say, I'm name dropping right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm fully aware of what I'm doing. I's name dropping right now. But what's so hilarious is when people name drop my name. So funny. I'd be like, what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
What did you do? Like, I help everybody. Well, I know Nika. I can get her. Nika helps everybody. What do you mean?
Me too. Just because you watched.
The worst name to name drop. I'm just saying.
I actually had to say that to somebody the other day. I said, look, it's not that I'm name dropping. It's just that this is my work. Like, I'm talking to them about work.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not that I'm name dropping. It's just, this is my world, and this is my circle, and I just know that I'm telling you what. I'm telling you because you asked, or you want to know the story of this, and this involved this person and this person and this person. I'm not name dropping. This is just a description of this is what I do. This is the description of the events, and this is my world. So you asked, so I'm telling.
So that's what it is, right?
But I'm not trying to name drop. But if I'm telling you a story about when being on the set of a movie, everybody there is somebody, and I can't tell it without
saying the somebody,
right?
Well, so that's the funny thing, because like you saying that story, like obviously because like we live it, right? So somebody could be like, oh yeah, well I know Glow and I can get her to do, and I know so, and I'll be like, who is y'all name dropping? You just name dropping my circle. I know all of these people and then some. So if I need them to do something, I can just call. Like you name dropping Glow is doing nothing for you or me.
Glow, do you know? Glow says she don't know you.
Right. Let me just call him real fast. Like that's not. So it's funny though, but then I have to step back and say, but wait a minute, we do a lot of stuff. Right? We do a lot of stuff. We host a lot of things. We've been on a lot of stages. The famous people that have been in San Antonio have been in front of us. So let me switch my attitude.
Yeah, right.
You're right. You know, so I'm like, okay.
So Mariah called.
Right. So I'm like, I have to because at first it sounds silly. You know, just even if well, Zay Zay, and you don't know, and I'll be like, well, those are my people, because that's who I see every day. But then, now I think about what my people and what they have done. Oh yeah, you're right. You should be name dropping. They're awesome. Or they've done a lot of stuff, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Well,
Right.
Anyway, anywho's case.
Alrighty, everybody. It's about that time.
It's that time.
It's about that time.
For one of these prayers. Jesus! We love you.
We do.
We love you, and we thank you for everything that you do for us, and continue to bless us and hold us and guide us into where you want us to be. Give us joy. Let's keep joy in our hearts, knowing all things are possible through him. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen, amen, amen.
Amen. All right, Alamo City, we love you guys. Please stay dry out there. Keep it sexy. Keep it classy. And, of course, keep it clean. We don't want to mess around with none of that dirty. And you know what? Go ahead and name drop some stuff today.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's on us.
Name drop it. See us at Tank's Pizza on Thursday. Yep. Our birthday party is on the 26th at Breathe. Other things are happening. You can still sign up for the boat trip cruise. You know, keep it locked, because I'll tell you, when I figured it out today, I'm off of vacation finally. I mean, off of the weekend.
Off of the weekend.
Yesterday I was going to make calls. I was like, I'll wait till tomorrow.
Kissy face, everybody. See you tomorrow.
We're out.